that I could do for you. So now you're getting ready to close the sale. It's appropriate for the buyer, and this should be a condition of the agreement, has another walkthrough of the property 5 days or less before the close of escrow. The reason being because there's some unscrupulous sellers, especially if your home has some very nice fixtures. Let's say it has a very nice chandelier. Any fixtures that are attached to the property, unless they're specifically excluded in the agreement, belong to the new buyer. You may not take the chandelier down unless it's written in the agreement. It's a breach of contract. Also, if there's some personal property like a washer and dryer, refrigerator, stove, whatever like that, you're gonna decide whether that's included or excluded as a term of the contract. They have a right to come through the property to make sure it looks the same as it did when they wrote the offer. Then escrow will, the loan will fund. That's the lender. All the conditions for the lender. The buyer's going to have to do a bunch of conditions for the lender. As a seller, you're probably not going to be that engaged in that process. I, as a realtor representing a seller, make sure all that stuff's happening in a timely manner. Usually when I represent a seller, even when I don't bring the buyer myself, I try to bring the buyer when I can, but even when I don't bring the buyer myself, some other realtor does, I try to get them to use my lender. That way I know I have an avenue of communication, and I can make sure that everything's happening in a timely manner. But even if they insist on using their own lender, that's fine. I can still communicate with that other lender, and I would on your behalf. So now all that stuff's taken care of. All the I's are dotted, T's are crossed, paperwork signed, the lender has agreed, they fund the loan. And basically, these days they don't actually write checks anymore. They transfer the money electronically. There's no more money in the world. It's all electrons these days anyway. The big money anyway. So the money transfers to escrow. Escrow has everything. They do a closing statement. They make sure they have enough money to close. They usually write a little pad in there. They try to get more money from the buyer than they actually need, a few $100s more to make sure, just because a lot of times if something goes wrong at the last minute, something costs a little more. So that's it. Now they have the money in escrow. They then set up a recording, and what that means in Los Angeles anyway, they carry the paperwork down they give it to the title company, the title company usually picks it up by messenger. Title company picks up the paper, the grant deed and all that. They take it down to the recorder's office, which in Los Angeles County is in Norwalk, and they record the transaction. They usually do that the night before. All the grant deeds get stamped at 8:15 in the morning, but the truth is that they do it all night long. Okay, it's like the night shift they do it. And then in the morning it's recorded. So usually around noon they know whether or not it's recorded, and if it has, then the house belongs to them. Now, another condition term of the agreement that you should have negotiated is occupancy. So you don't want to give them occupancy at noon on the day the escrow closes, because you're not even going to know till noon if it did close or not. You should have your stuff packed, but you don't want to move out early unless you already own, you already bought the new place you're going to, whatever the case may be. That's fine. So you usually put close of escrow plus 1, 2, 3 days, something like that. If it's more than 3 days, you probably should be paying them a certain amount per day in rental for the house once they own it. Because once escrow closes, it's not your house anymore, it's their house. And whatever they're paying to own it, principal, interest, taxes, and insurance, you should be paying them that amount in rent. That's it about how to sell your own home. If you have other questions, I'll be glad and grateful to answer them. If you can see here in the video, my phone number is area code 818-921-0150, and my email is bruce@bruceroth.com. Please contact me if you have any questions or concerns about this or any other real estate matter. If you need to find out information about a short sale, or doing a loan modification, or you're afraid of foreclosure, how to avoid foreclosure, any topic whatsoever, please don't hesitate to ask. Also, if you need help improving your credit score, I'm glad and grateful to personally one-on-one give you and your family coaching on how to improve your credit score. So that's it for today's video. Please don't hesitate to contact me again, Bruce Roth, 818-921-0150. Good luck and God bless.